wonder what they're like. From our viewpoint, Professor, they're either suprahuman or subhuman.
Hello and welcome back to Illumination, the Disney Lorcana podcast that is currently a stream. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we have a special guest.
I'm Cliff.
Special Cliff. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, Max.
So we are here. We are testing more of the new Set 7 Archazia's Island here, and I'm getting ad rolled on Sam's phone. Way to not sub.
Wow.
It probably just means I'm due for one.
So we are going to test some more decks here. We have been testing quite extensively, reasonably extensively, trying to figure out what is the right choice for the big event we have coming up at Encounter Comics and Games, and additionally, kind of what the meta is going to look like out of the gate for this new set. So Sam is going to be playing against Cliff to start off. We'll rotate decks, we'll rotate folks, and we'll just have a general good time. I'm hidden off camera here on microphone 3, so I'm here. I'm just hidden from view.
You keep going to the right. Is that okay?
If it sounds loud out there, just tell me, and I can turn myself down. Hi, Mediocre Matt. Are you what
Hello.
view are you on?
Hi.
What view are you on? What camera are you on?
This one.
Oh, okay. Not the
No.
front-facing webcam, because you'd have to have touched the computer to do that.
All
Okay.
right, you ready?
Yeah, so we rolled before we went live. I won the die roll because I'm better.
That's fair.
And now we're just working through mulligans.
All right. So.
Olivia says hi and Shepard says hi.
Hi, Olivia.
If it sounds loud out there, just tell me.
Okay, so I'm playing a blue-red deck because that's my favorite thing to play because it draws lots of cards and frustrates my opponents. So generally I found while playtesting on day 1, since I'm just getting back to the team, for blue-red you still want to do what you always wanted to do. Have a popsicle on 1, maybe a ramp on 2, and then try and get Hiram on 3. But Sapphire Coil is very good, so if you need to not play ramp on 2 to have Sapphire Coil going, that on 2 is bananas. So I'm just going to keep these 2 cards, and then I'm going to mulligan these other 5 cards, because they're not helpful in a blind opponent.
They're not helpful cards, so you get rid of them in this game. Also, hello to Shepard. And hello to Swahili. Appreciate you being here.
So Sam, I'm mulliganing 5.
Okay. You gonna show them what you got?
I will in a second.
Okay.
It's a mystery to everyone.
No one knows.
Thank you for the follow, Shepard.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate the follow. Thank you so much.
All right, and the 5 I got back are every card I talked about wanting to have,
Oh no, that's not good. All right.
along with the cards that I kept.
Here we go. I'm playing also red blue. So what Cliff said applies. I'm gonna keep these 2 cards, and we're gonna put back 5.
We're on the mirror match, but when we test, we pretend like we're mystery opponents to each other. So you should be mulliganing just for optimally what's best for you on game 1, whether you're on the play or the draw.
It is much better than it started out, but still not great. All right.
All right.
I'm going to commentate the game, kind of do a view as you all see it, so I can help call out some of the cards. And if you have questions, I'm also monitoring chat, so fire away if you have questions.
Are you good if I start?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to ink a popsicle, and I'm going to play a popsicle, and I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to say go.
So we got popsicles.
All right. We're gonna ink a brawl and we're gonna pass.
Oh, that's a better thing when you have a popsicle and your opponent does not.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm a Lorcana expert.
All right, I'm going to ink one of the new Tamatoas, Happy as a Clam, which
Happy
their
as a
card's
Clam.
been very good.
I think. Do you think it's overperformed from your estimation?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I already thought it was going to be busted, and it's more.
Yes, I agree. That is exactly how I thought about it too.
I'm going to play a Tipo. And I'm going to put this card down in the inks. Go ahead. So I'm going to do the thing Blue-Red likes to do.
Yep, we got the item on 1, the ramp on 2. If he's got the Hiram on 3, he's living the dream.
We're gonna ink a grandma. Play a sail.
Sam has her ramp. She might be able to catch up here if she has an item to play off the sail.
I was hoping.
Sounds like she's not going to.
I played sail over Tipo there just because I was hoping to find an item.
Makes sense.
Usually, you also will play the sail if you're comfortable with your inkable count in hand, and Tipo if you're a little on the fence.
All right, so I'm going to ink a Vitalosphere, and I'm going to play Hiram, Flabbersham. Going to draw 2 cards.
Cliff is living the dream over there.
And then I'm going to quest for 1. Go ahead.
So Sam's definitely falling behind here. Likely her best play here, unless she's drawn. I don't think if she drew something. I think our best play is going to be to continue to ramp most likely, and then play something like a Sisu or a Brawl on Hiram. Plays Sapphire Coil, definitely behind now.
Okay.
Further ramping. Makes sense if she's behind. She has the coil now to lower things and then maybe be able to catch up by playing a bigger Sisu ahead of time.
I'm going to play a Vitalosphere. I'm going to quest with Hiram to draw 2 cards.
Hiram doing Hiram things over there. Making toys. Mostly for Cliff, actually. Just making toys for Cliff, which are cards in hand.
I'm going to ink a sail and play Grandma. Look at the top 2, take one of these lovely cards, put it in my hand. I'm going to quest for 1, and go ahead.
Cliff just pulling further and further ahead here. Having a good mix of card advantage and board presence.
We're gonna ink brawl.
Sam's inking a
Shrink
brawl.
grandma.
Shrinking Grandma. So the coil giving it -2 strength here until the end of Sam's turn.
I will say the one thing I've learned even just from today was a lot of the decks not running the older 5-cost Maui. The blue-red decks, at least in the mirror, you can kind of just quest more readily.
Right.
And not have to worry about like losing your T-pos and stuff randomly.
Makes sense. So Sam trying to catch up there, having to get rid of the Sapphire Coil. Again, not a place she really wants to be, but you need to find the tools you need to find.
I will start off by inking a T-po. I will have Hiram sing how far I'll go.
Second best thing you can do with a Hiram, really.
I will then play a Sapphire Coil of my own. And Sisu down Hiram. Quest for 2. Go ahead.
And Cliff being able to answer the Hiram on the other side of the board there, pushing again, still further ahead.
How far?
Sam just happened to snap off the full price how far. No singing discounts.
Ink a brawl. Sisu.
Yep.
I'll pass.
I'm going
Can you
to
sub on this thing?
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Ink Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
Play Tamato. I'll get back a popsicle.
Cliff light years ahead now.
Cliff has got this game.
Cliff's doing with everything that he loves to do playing these games. Quest for 2. You're at how much?
8.
That's a lot. No, I'm gonna do this anyway. 8. Go ahead.
Not sure how Sam gets back into this game super easily. Maybe a Be Prepared. It's probably the best single card she could play on this particular board.
Mm-hmm.
Puts down another coil.
How far? I'll shrink Sisu.
Okay.
Sisu.
So Sisu can punch Sisu.
Oh. Making the most of what we got.
I'll pass.
All right. We're just gonna kind of do it all this turn. Draw a card.
Doing it all's been declared.
Draw a card.
Many a popsicle. Trying to fill up the board with items for the big Tamatoa.
Seeing how far I'll go.
Sings the how far. Continuing to ramp. Continuing to add cards to hand. That's what this deck does once it gets going. Sam not so much being able to interfere in Cliff's game plan this time.
Shrink Sisu because I can. Quest for 1, 2, 3, 4 to 12. Get back a Vitalosphere. Play Vitalosphere. Ink Hideaway. Quest with Tipo. Go ahead.
Be prepared on the top, please. Be prepared at all.
You could double ink. You could shrink Tamatoa enough to kill it with a Sisu, or big Sisu.
If I could double ink. No, I think we just move on to the next game.
Alrighty. I don't normally like inking the hideaways in this matchup, but I was so far ahead and just needed the ink.
Right.
Oh no!
I had another Tamatoa and a dime in my hand, and
I was still losing. I had a Shark and Pirate's Life, but I couldn't get it going quick enough.
Yeah, and I think that kind of the story was in the first couple of turns there. I think we knew how that
was
game was
very
going to go.
awkward.
yeah, I got to ramp and have Hiram,
Right.
and then just kind of keep going.
I agree. I think that's kind of the story of the game. Everything else was Sam attempting to find ways to catch up. Not having the answer to the Hiram immediately on her turn was also brutal.
The mirror match feels a lot different than it used to. Like I've predominantly only played blue-red, like since I really started playing the game. Like the mirror matches feel so different now than they used to, where it was just like Hades, your Hades, Hades, Maleficent, Maleficent Dragon, Hades.
Right.
Where you were running 4 B preps, 4 big Maleficents, a bunch of Hades, Mauis, Madame Medusas, Tremaines, and just were like one for wanting the board into oblivion. The matchups are very different now than they were.
Somebody shaking their leg?
I am
Okay.
not.
I just saw the laptop. Like,
Maybe it was with my arms on the table.
Alright. I'm gonna go first this time. So, still not looking great. I think we put back these because they're way too expensive. We'll put back this, and I'm debating on this one because we kept it last time and it didn't do so good. I guess we'll try it. So we're gonna do 4.
4 down.
I don't know how to switch it to me when it's
You're number 2.
okay.
You can press the big number 2 if you want.
There you go.
Bingo.
Okay, so really in the mirror match, it's kind of the exact same thing as like if you're mulliganing into the blind. The only other thing I could say is maybe keeping a brawl to try and catch your opponent's Hiram. The other thing you have to be aware of in general mulliganing with like the blue-red decks is there's so many uninkables, and you don't have Fishbone Quill to kind of save you from that anymore. So I don't really
Right.
like keeping this card being Little Sisu in my opening hand because I don't want to mulligan a bunch of cards away and then not be able to play it. So I'm just going to keep these two, because it's 2/3 of the exact thing that I want. The other important thing when you're testing is just like, it's okay to talk things out with whoever you're playing against, because you're both just trying to get better.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the first mental step you need to take is the win or loss doesn't matter. It's did you take away something from the game? If not, then that's okay. Some test games don't work though. But there are plenty of ways to test. You can do both take what you think is the ideal hand and fight each other and see what's correct, what wasn't correct, why'd you take what you took, things like that. Because if your deck can't win with the ideal 7, it's probably not going to win. Frequently it may, especially if you're testing a brand new deck to begin with, right? So keep those things in mind. It's okay to test. Put your hand down and talk it out if it's a tricky moment in the game where you know it's an important inflection point. There's nothing wrong with doing those kinds of diligence to make sure that something is taken away from the game versus somebody's going to win and lose. That's just how trading card games work. Trying to make sure that we win more than we lose when the time comes. And by doing that, in order to do that, we need to learn. So that's the goal here. So if you have questions in chat, fire them off for sure. I will stop them as close to in their tracks as I can stop them to see about a question or ask thoughts.
Tipo. Play Tipo.
As they ramp at each other here.
Go ahead.
And once again, Cliff off to the race is a little bit harder just because he had the item in his opening. So if Sam has the Hiram now, she's obviously not getting full value from it. So she might opt to go in a bit of a different direction. Might be able to offset this with something like a sail or something along those lines. Yeah, that's a good one. The coil here. Doubling down on items, so she has Hiram next turn. It's not too bad.
Hink a shark. Play a Hiram.
That's what Ellie does. She lays in the middle of the table and gets in the way. Makes it super awkward to move.
Go ahead. There was a point when playing this deck that I legitimately thought being on the draw in the mirror was what you wanted.
Right.
You won extra card.
Means a lot. Ignore me.
We're going to brawl Hiram,
Oh, that fills me with sadness.
and then we're going to play a Sapphire Foil,
Okay.
and we'll pass. The computer's raised, so it should be fine.
You have one card in hand.
Yes. Oh, I forgot the quest.
You can quest. I'm going to play how far I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
Inca Sail. I will quest. Go ahead.
Hiram?
You got him.
A cheapo. Sail.
Mm-hmm.
Six. Ink sail.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I will ink a Tamatoa. And I will play Maui Shark.
Mm-hmm.
And that should theoretically stop Hiram from questing. I'm going to quest with Tipo still.
Yep.
Go ahead. Yep. Oh, you killed my toddler.
Pass.
I will sing how far I'll go, so I gain one.
Mm-hmm.
a Hiram. My own. I will ink a coil. And play a coil. And go ahead.
What's in there, action-wise?
A how far I'll go, a how far I'll go.
Second coil.
The man behind the mirror is back.
I did it.
We're gonna double shrink your Maui.
He has 3 power now.
We're taking a risk.
Looking for an ink ramp card, probably.
Man, if you had shrunk Maui enough to kill it with a little Sisu or a Brawl, that'd be really impressive.
It was. Oh, it's not enough for a brawl. I thought it was.
You'd have to do it
It's
again.
3.
Yeah.
I thought your plan was look for another ink card, like a sale.
Sail, Tipo, how far I'll go.
Right.
Well, we're off that plan unless we found another coil to go along with it.
That'd be impressive. It'd have to be exactly coil sale there to be able to get back up to enough ink to be able to then do it. That'd be a pretty wild turn. High risks.
Well, it doesn't matter at this point.
High risks, no rewards.
Oh, I needed him.
Shooting harm not bad here, but yeah, definitely putting herself out there at the mercy of the shark. Half shark, half man. Let's see how much Cliff can capitalize with the shark here.
Cliff's gonna do what he thinks is a bunch this turn.
A bunch.
Shrink Hiram.
Everything is very not powerful.
Facts. Sail, gain 1. A big Sisu would be really cool. Take out Hiram. I'll regrow how far I'll go. One, two, three, 4. I will play that how far I'll go. Gain another one. Put that down in our inkwell. We'll shrink something because we can. It doesn't matter. Sisu. Down Hiram.
Hiram answered.
And go ahead.
So obviously now the big difference on board is the Maui shark. Sam could do something cheeky, like play a Vitalosphere, pump a little Sisu, and send both Sisus into the Maui shark.
That's not enough.
Is it not as 3-4?
Yeah.
Oh, it's +2 on the Vitalosphere?
Yeah.
Mm.
The last cannon, which we were talking about for Blue Steel, is Challenger 3.
Oh, the last cannon. Sam plays Tamatoa. Inks a Pirate's Life. Plays out Popsicle.
Did you regrow that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's her best bet here, is try to just power up as much as possible. You can flip over your Pirate's Life. Try to power up as much as possible in order to just try to steal the game if possible.
Let it go.
Never mind.
Gain 1. Tamatoa. Get back
So this is the new Tamatoa, happy as a clam. Gets back 2 items simply by coming into play.
The enchanted one, and Sam proxied the enchanteds for me because I have an addiction to foils.
Yeah, and this enchanted happens to look real good.
small. How far?
At this point, Cliff's trying to find the last couple pieces. He needs to hopefully close out the game quickly. Sam probably back in the position she was last game, looking for most likely something like a be prepared.
And ink naturally. Go.
Problem is, hand size is pretty big. Sam's got, this looks like a decent sized hand. Cliff's got a pretty large sized hand, so even if she's able to deal with the board here, it's going to be difficult to overcome the second wave. Sam give the head shake there. You can't see it. I can.
Sam wanted to give up 3 turns ago.
I would not still be playing if we weren't on stream.
No, I think that's a good call out to make anyway, right? Even though we're on stream, is when it comes to a timed event, knowing when things are too, because this deck doesn't always have the most consistent closing power. It has inevitability, and that's a little bit different in this case. It requires a couple of pieces to close out a game efficiently. And sometimes this deck can flounder trying to find them, but I'd say Cliff is well ahead. So if this were a timed event, and say this were game 1, it might behoove Sam here to just go, you know what, there's almost a 0% chance that I can win this game, like such a low chance that it's better if I need to win 2 more games in 50 minutes that I call it here and move on. Okay.
I said that to myself last turn if he had dime from that Tamatoa.
Again, you can see there with the close. But Sisu, though, helps the dime close a game out pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
outside of Sisu, we have big Tamatoa for the most part, really taking advantage. Unlike the blue steel decks, they get to play aerial and can kind of have like a few different options to close out a game quickly. The red-blue decks tend to have just a couple items in the chamber here.
What was that?
So should we do this again or switch?
It's totally up to you.
It's your call.
Not the mirror. I'm going to switch.
Not the mirror, says the game piece. Good evening. So, started off with, yes, the mirror, but you managed to dodge it. So, we'll see Sam pick up, I think, probably her current favorite deck we've been testing, which is the purple steel deck. Amethyst steel for you more
Sorry if I made a noise.
more on-point people with your ink identities than me.
This is much more 50-50.
Yes. This feels like it's on the play's a big benefit, and or you both could steal a game from each other on the draw reasonably. So, Sam going to give the purple steel deck a try. I think the only new card from Archazia's Island is the Giant Cobra
Yes.
in her list. And Cliff has the new Tamatoa and the Coil in his list.
Correct.
So, not a ton of the new cards, but right now I think one of the best ways to test is to kind of look and see if any of the existing decks got very obvious inclusions. Because in an event like we're going to, which is the day after the set releases, so the event we're going to play at is on the 8th, and we have to figure out how we are going to
I'll go first.
put a deck together that's cohesive. There's a lot of cool ideas, and we've been playing, if you watch the stream last week, we were testing with like Ink Geyser and things like that. And I do think that there's a lot of room to grow, but we have to kind of figure it out first. And I think the best way is to see what existing deck gets the biggest gifts. And I think these 2 decks are good examples of that.
Alright, so I'm playing purple steel now. So I don't want to see this till later, and I got 2 of them, so they're going back. This I don't think I need in the beginning. This I'll put back. I'm probably going to put this back too. I don't need 2 of them. So 5. Alright, so that looks good. Go over to Cliff.
All right. So, sticking with the same philosophy of I just want an item into a ramp into Hiram. I'm going to keep 2 items because one of them, they're both being inkable, is super helpful. And the rest of the stuff is stuff that I want later in the game. And like Pirate's Life and Maui Shark cost too much to keep. I don't think Visions is a good turn 2 play at all. because you don't really know what you're looking for. And the little Sisu being uninkable is sometimes a big detriment to a deck with 16 or 17 uninkables in it. So we're going to mulligan 5. And as you can see, like this deck will sometimes do,
The game piece followed.
Game Piece, thank you so much for the follow. Really appreciate you.
it just draws a bunch of expensive stuff that's uninkable. So this is going to be a real struggle, regardless of what my opponent's doing.
Right, you have to. Enemy 1 is kind of your own deck sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, people like to call it Blue Red for being the boogie monster. Blue Red's biggest issue is itself, most of the cases.
So it continues to be even its own worst enemy.
Alright, so I'm
My
gonna
worst
ink a
enemy is
bird,
red blue. Red blue. So is mine.
Play a Diablo. Yes.
Would you ink?
A broom.
Broom. Okay.
Alright, well, since this card costs 1,000,000 to ink, we're going to ink a Tamatoa on turn 1. We're going to hope we draw something good with this popsicle. Go ahead. And I have a saying. It's better to be lucky than good.
You got your turn 2 ramp. I see. We'll ink a Smee, play a Smee, and pass.
Thank God the deck didn't hear you talking about it.
Oh, so, this is interesting. We're going to make a different play because of what we just drew.
Ooh.
We're going to ink this Tamatoa. And we're going to play a Sapphire Coil. I think this is the only card in like the more aggressive matchups that you don't want to ramp on 2 for if you have like the Brawls or Sisus.
Right.
Yep.
Because now Cliff can set up ink,
Ink a
play a
string.
little Sisu or a Brawl as
Play a
potential
Pete.
here. Shuts off Brawl.
So that, yeah, it shuts off Brawl if you had that. Okay.
So Sam trying to mitigate what Cliff can do negatively to her.
In Tipo, I will shrink Smee and play Lil Sisu.
Of course it was that one.
Go ahead.
Could still be Brawl, and you may have actually done something effective. You don't know.
The man behind the mirror makes a valid point.
We're going to ink a Cobra. We're going to play a Library. We're going to move the Pete. We're going to quest for 2.
You got it.
Go ahead.
Into ink Vitalosphere, shrink Peter, play a Popsicle, Sisu Peter,
I'll draw a card.
yep, and I'll take out Diablo.
And I'll draw another card.
Go ahead.
Sam converting her entire board into things. She gets an ink or a lore from the library there. And Cliff's managed to set the board to
Ink a Strength.
almost a position he wants it to be, minus the library.
Play a goat. And we'll move the goat.
My least favorite card in the entire game.
It's a tough card. It's from a content creator standpoint, it's a rough card because it's just like auto wins the game and it's not like exciting. It's kind of anticlimactic. Though sometimes it's fun to be like, if you have it on the top, you win. You can do the cool flip over for dramatic effect. A lot of four cost cards I don't like in this match.
We're going to ink a Coil. I'm going to punch the library twice.
That's a lot of respect.
Lil Sisu doesn't like books.
Lore for you. Caesar does not like books. Dragons like gold.
Mm-hmm. To the game piece's point, the mirrors are usually the hardest and the ones you want to test the most.
Yes.
Because that's where you can find all of the small edges of realizing what is super important in the matchup and what is less important.
Rose.
Absolutely.
Move the Rose.
Yep.
Sing Strength on one of your Sisus.
Oh.
And the reason I did that is because if he shifts and then hits the library, he has to go in with Hiram too. I'm going to pass.
Sam valuing her library quite highly here. Which makes sense. It's one of the trickier cards for Blue-Red to have to deal with unless he can find his hideaway. That's kind of the cleanest answer that Red-Blue has, is the hideaway.
I'm going to sing how far I'll go. Alright, I will ink a card off that and shrink that.
Mhm.
I will ink for my turn, shrink the white rose, and then I'll shift Sisu.
Alright, I'll gain 1, and I'll draw 2.
Correct.
So Sam's doing a good job of converting her cards into further threats down the line.
I will... How far I'll go again. Go ahead.
Gain 1.
So I'm getting close to closing out the game potentially. Cliff doing a nice job of mitigating everything going on, giving himself the most options.
I'm going to play Doc for no value.
Yeah, game piece. I agree. I think we've been testing a lot, and we've been liking Purple Steel quite a bit as well. We've been playing it more like low to the ground, very aggressive, like a lot of the characters that come in and gain allure, and leveraging Doc
Cobra.
as the card draw engine. So most of the time we don't want a hand and I think Cobra helps with that plan a lot.
Move the fox to the library. And I'll draw a card.
Sam's still converting into cards,
And we'll pass.
converting those characters on board into cards in hand, which in this deck it's a good strategy because so many cards come in and just gain allure.
It will not be blanked. Ink Sail. Play Half Shark. And Hideaway.
There it is.
Gain 1. Go ahead.
So Sam's got some work to do here, but got a little bit of extra ink help from the Hideaway. See if she can leverage what she's been doing into a significant board here.
That's what I'm gonna play.
You can take it back. We're testing.
Yeah. I'm going to redo my turn.
All right, Sam's going to walk it back. So in testing, realizing kind of what you're doing, as long as it's reasonable to do so, to rewind the game. Sometimes it's still too complicated, but in this case it was just simply play 2 characters, not too hard to track.
How far's?
How far's?
And that's it.
And a Hideaway.
Okay. I'm going to play a crab.
Yep.
Giving Cliff a chance to utilize his half shark here at the cost of his card draw. It's a bold move. The one thing she really doesn't want to see, I think, is Cliff lead off with a Pirate's Life, because so you could just then get it back and continue to hold her at bay.
And Coil. Shrink that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll punch. This gets 2 on it. I will regrow. Hey, how far I'll go? I'll play a how far I'll go.
Gains the lore from Maui Shark and is able to continue to ramp, continue to find cards.
New Tamatoa.
Mm-hmm.
I will regrow 1 Popsicle,
Happy Tamatoa, not Shiny Tamatoa.
2 Popsicle.
Though if
And
Cliff
your
has his
turn.
way, they'll all be Shiny Tamatoa. See, I'm gonna spin the followers here, turn them into a card, continuing to see that same technique here of turning characters into cards. Plays a Pete to shut off any type of action, and also give her a little bit of variety of size of character for Sisu purposes. The one negative is the coil out could lead to something like a Shrink Pete and be able to Big Sisu. Drops the dime for free. That's Tamatoa's second ability. When he quests, you can put any item from your hand into play for free, which is extremely powerful and definitely plays out more powerfully. I think it's just so smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It is a concerningly powerful card for sure. See if Cliff has the Big Sisu here. And I do like Sam putting him to the test here. You just kind of got to have it. There's going to be a turn where you may not. So.
Big Sisu.
He had
Draw
it this
one.
turn.
Yep. Quest for 1. That is everything I can do.
So now the card Sam obviously looking to fade is the big Sisu. The OG, as it were. Who can just gain so much lore for Cliff on this board immediately. But the big Sisu doing a nice job.
Tamatoa.
What'd I say?
Sisu.
Oh, yeah, the Sisu doing a nice job. Big Tamatoa, the OG.
Yeah, well, he'll end the game. Big Sisu clears the board.
Did I just lose, though?
We have a crab into a fox. A lot of that. Is that a clean trade or no?
Crab.
Oh, crap. Thank you. Doc discarding the last couple of cards. Even with all the extra cards from the library, still needing to use Doc here. Feels kind of bad.
Shrink that. So, I'm at 6, that's 9, 12, 13. Okay, I don't have it. Sale, gain 1.
There's 3 Tamatoas in that list.
3 of the new Tamatoas, the 6-cost one, and there are 4 of the original Tamatoas. So 7 total Tamatoas.
I'm going to dime Big Sisu to gain 3 more. Quest with this to gain more. And I'm going to little Sisu dock away just because I don't want you to do the bounce shenanigans. The purple steel decks can win out of nowhere with goat bounces and stuff. So just try to play cautious on that. Go ahead.
You got it.
Okay.
Sam mostly finding kind of the slower stuff. The crabs, the foxes. Fox is at its worst in this matchup for sure. Like some of the worst looking, because even the small
There was
Sisus
a
are
point where
evasive.
strength would have been nice.
So definitely tricky. Cliff got that one on the draw. Good job, Cliff.
Thank you.
I'll go first again.
Yeah, we've been testing a lot of blue-red, a lot of blue steel. We've been testing a lot of purple steel. We have been testing
Green steel.
green steel. We have been testing a little bit of blue-green in there to
The
try
dog
to
pile.
figure it out. Yeah, it's right now it's so up in the air with how you can play it because you have the Muse style builds, you have the more item style Hiram leverage of advantage. Do you go with like bending to my will and trying to use like bounce cards? Do you use Under the Sea in concert with the coil and the item package from Hiram? I think there's a lot of good ways to look at it, and that doesn't even touch on the blue-green that is like the aggressive shift style
Yeah.
build that we can use Hero Hamada. We could use Ink Geyser maybe to use it as a tempo card more than a like a Fishbone style Ink Geyser deck. So a lot of ways to look at that as well. I think that's going to be a really hard deck to evaluate for some time.
Alright, so I'll put this back. I don't think this is very good in this matchup, so I'm going to put that back. This is just more expensive. And I'm going to put these 2 back. I just kind of want to get an aggro opening hand against red-blue. So we did 5.
She wants the 1-drop on 1, 2 1-drops on 2.
That would be
et cetera.
ideal. Alright.
Alright, so I have kind of a rough hand for myself. I've got a bunch of cards that don't like in my opening hand, or things that are expensive. I don't really like Brawl in the matchup because it doesn't kill most of the things I want it to kill, and Pete is just demoralizing if you're banking on playing Brawl in 3 to kill something, and they stick Pete, and you're like, oh, I literally can't do anything now. So I'm going to take the risky mulligan and throw 6 of these away and just keep this one.
Yeah, I think that the thing about the purple steel deck that gives it a really nice edge in some matchups is the characters are so largely statted.
I think to your point with how dogpile the Bleen list is that I threw together, the Universal Shift Baymax looks very powerful.
It is very good. It's so big. The fact it costs 6 means it can sing so many songs above, like, way ahead of schedule. And if you play it on a TPO, you get it off the ramp on 3 is even scarier.
Alright, I'm going to Tamatoa and play Popsicle. Go ahead.
Do the 2 1-drops.
Sam kind of firing off the ideal start, which is the 1-on-1, and then the 2 1s-on-2.
I'm going to Inca Hiram, and here actually I'm going to sail because it's what I have. I'd much rather this be a Tipo because I'd rather be inking one of these and something on the board to fight.
Right. The stats on Tipo are relevant here, especially with taking care of Diablo.
And second ink for turn. Go ahead.
Cost for 3. Play the White Rose. We'll get rid of the Broom. And even though he has no board, he could have a little Sisu or a Brawl, and I think he'd go after that because of not getting my card.
Yes. You're all set, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, the Diablo gives you back a card. The Broom will not if it gets Sisu'd. So I think that's a valid choice here to convert.
Ink the
what will
Let
be
It
a
Go.
lure next turn into a card. Cliff showing off his Let It Go.
Hiram.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. If any of you can see my hand, there's one very specific card I'd like to have in my hand that I don't currently have.
Sam continuing to use White Roses to gain lure. Inks the crab, and I think
Go ahead.
we'll see. She could be holding another crab. She could not be interested maybe in punching the Hiram. There could just be no item that Hiram's interested in questing to vanish, but it looks like we have a coil here.
I'll sing how far I'll go.
Hiram choosing to sing a song.
Shrink that.
Mm-hmm.
Sail. First ink. Second ink.
Second.
Yeah. Shrink, shrink.
Shrinking it, shrinking it, shrinking it.
Go.
You're on.
7 going into 8.
Okay. I'll take that trade now that I drew another crab.
Yep.
Sam is interested in punching Hiram.
I wasn't until it gave it to me. Go ahead. I'll draw 2.
Yep.
Has the beat prep.
I'll ink a Tamatoa and say go.
Nothing to shrink.
Nope.
Sam's got a good amount of cards. See how well she can rebuild the board here.
Oh, ink. Snake. Pass.
Everything has 3 power.
Yeah, it makes it daunting.
I'll ink a Tipo and shrink Smee.
Mm-hmm.
Good. These 1-for-1s with Sisu killing a 2-drop feel terrible.
Right.
Play Cobra. We're going to discard Chernobog Swallows to gain 2.
Mm-hmm.
Play Dock.
Yep.
Sam does convert some cards into lure. Seeing our first demonstration of the giant cobra. Pushing her up to 15 lure with that quest from Calhoun.
a Hiram, shrink the Cobra.
So Doc and Cobra go.
Go ahead.
Does Calhoun go?
I got punched by Sisu.
Oh, that would do it.
Although that battle's much closer than you'd expect.
It is. There's another Calhoun. Strength and Raging Fire to answer the first Sisu. Second Sisu still hanging out.
Oh, hi, Ellie. You have one card in hand?
Mm-hmm.
How good is it?
Depends on the moment.
I think I should try and start winning.
It's in my deck, so it's good. Cliff opts to start trying to close the game out. Seeing
Go.
a Pirate's Life. A little bit of a life pad here. Trades in Fox for Sisu. Replace Calhoun most likely. Still one card in hand. They're both fighting on low resources. If Cliff can break parity with a Hiram or something like that, things look a lot better.
Shrink Calhoun.
Well, Big Cisu's a good draw. Gain 3 more.
Go.
Put Sam on the clock here. She needs to come up with an answer. Giant Cobra.
Fine. At least this makes it to where he can't quest.
For now, again, still a low resource fight. Uh-oh. Whoa. That's the card you didn't want to see.
Yeah, Sisu is brutal.
Yeah, Sisu is just looking
Vision.
better than she ever has. The little Sisu's Dragonfire now, and the big Sisu is Be Prepared. It's insane. The blue-red deck gets a lot of gifts by way of Sapphire Coil.
How far? Shrink
Drunken Snake.
as I can.
The sphere is here.
Go.
Fear the sphere.
I'm questing there because I want her to trade in.
I think I have to.
Because her going to 17 is a lot scarier. And with the Hiram, I feel like I can dig myself out of whatever would follow up.
This is feeling like a repeat of last week. Just keep losing.
It happens sometimes, you know?
Ink Sail, Shrink Calhoun, Little Sisu,
There's a Dragonfire.
Tamatoa,
Need a dock off the top. Even that's not very good.
I will get back 2 popsicles. Dime for 2. Go. But Sam,
You keep having 2 of them.
I do look at a lot of cards.
He's got so many lucky dimes. If you call every dime lucky dime, it starts to lose its luster, you know. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Again, just to kind of throw it out there if you're not familiar, Sam and I host the Illumination Podcast. It comes out every other Wednesday wherever you get fine podcasts. And do look out in the area. If you're in the South Jersey, Philadelphia, greater Philadelphia area, Delaware, we sneak up in there
Is
too.
that both games?
Mm-hmm.
Give me to switch decks.
Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do.
Keep an eye out for Illumination. You'll see us.
Put the exclamation point podcast.
Is that what it is?
I'm actually surprised considering we played the mirror and then we got done 4 games in an hour. Like, blue red generally not the fastest winning thing in the world.
Pretty good when I suck.
I will say I've gotten above average draws.
This was a terrible idea.
What is this? We don't know. We'll find out after we shuffle up and go.
I know what it is.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Cliff we have a pile of decks to test on the table next to Cliff, and he just grabbed one at random. Didn't even look.
One of my favorite things to do for like our weeklies is just to have somebody hand me a random deck and just play with it sight unseen.
It keeps things spicy.
It does.
Stops you from getting too bored, and it lets you learn other decks, which helps even if you don't want to play them to get good at them.
I won't look at your hand.
It's just your hand.
Oh, it's my hand. Why am I going?
Because you're going first.
Wow. Oh, I've only ever played this deck like twice. All right, so in my limited knowledge, I don't think I want a hand of all 3 drops. So I'm going to throw almost all of this away except for this one.
Typically, yeah, like your best 3-drop so far in testing we've seen is White Rose, just because it's kind of the one you don't mind slapping down on turn 3. Sets up to Sing. It's gains you a lure right away, so you don't lose too much.
And none of these are White Rose.
Right.
So I think we're going to throw 6 away.
I like it.
And if our other testing partner is watching, who's a bunch of numbers and mystery, he's probably screaming profanities at me.
He's probably asleep.
What did we get back? You know what? It's not much better.
My turn. I'm also going to throw back 6 because of pretty much the same reasons you described. I'm going to keep this one.
We had basically the same cards that we threw away.
Yeah, this deck looking obviously to open up with a lot of 1-drops that can start to turn into cards as the game progresses.
There are 1-drops in this deck.
There are 12
Okay.
1-drops in this
Interesting.
deck. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
They're not items, though, so you can't draw them as well as you were.
All right. So, we're going to look at this pile of cards that are definitely Lorcana legal.
They are Lorcana legal cards. Not right now. Not as of this recording or this live stream. But they will be. But they won't be because these are like
Well, maybe
printed
all
out
the ones that you
playtest
find are.
copies.
I have 6 of 7, which are currently legal.
Okay.
I'm going to ink a goat and then say go and question whether Max actually put the 1-drops in this deck.
I like the library.
I didn't mess with that deck so much. Sam and the mystery team member did.
That's not a broom. That is a Chernbox Followers. Same
Sam
thing.
misrepresenting game state. That is illegal.
I'm going to kick you.
I'm going to ink a Madam Mim and play a Mr. Smee, the card that I kept. Go ahead.
I'll link a fox. And I'll quest for 1. Load up.
Sam missequencing
I know,
her
I
turn.
know.
Tapping her ink just cuz.
No, it's because I inked after I drew. I mean, before I drew.
Yeah. Generally, you want to, if you're going to draw a card at a point during the turn, think the whole turn through as much as you can. And if there's a card that's going to be drawn in there, do that first because it could change everything for you.
I'm going to ink a crab and play a Peter. Go ahead. You're no longer allowed to play actions.
Timeout.
Quest for 2.
Sam electing to quest with her Smee. See what she has here. So right now it's looking like Pete's going to kind of kick Mr. Smee's butt on Cliff's turn. So we'll see if she has a snake or something similar. Is there a 1-drop to go with the snake? Pretty good. See what Cliff can do here. He's got 3 lure available, just with nothing else coming down and gaining lure. So it's a nice spot to be. Both units pretty hard for Sam to deal with.
Ink that. Play this.
Leads off on Little Diablo.
Strength that.
Pete singing.
Quest for 2.
Fox to pick up Mr. Smee.
Go ahead.
I like the preserving of the more aggressive character there.
Again, you shouldn't be watching what I'm doing as the correct play.
Willing to beat.
Nothing I've seen is too egregious. I don't know what's in your
Quest
hand per se, but
one, Goat.
Mm-hmm.
Gain a lore.
You already did the...
God.
Quest a whole bunch.
quest a whole bunch.
Play that there, Mr. Smee.
Smee's back. Snake picking up Pete.
Go.
Leaving the goat Diablo or a Fox to challenge if it chooses to do so. Could also obviously quest.
Darn it, ink crab. Place me. We're gonna play crab.
A lot of crabs. Not exactly the card you want in this matchup per se.
Alright, we'll draw a card.
Pass.
Goat takes out Diablo.
Peter.
He's got a good burst of lore if he wants to take it. Does he want to challenge the goat or just ignore the goat?
Strength Smee. Kill goat. Quest for 2. Go.
Maintains a pretty significant tempo advantage.
So try to cheat by not putting damage on my Smee.
Oh, I can't remember that.
In my head, he's the captain.
He is. Crab here potentially taking out. Goes for the Fox over the Smee. That's
It's a bold
interesting.
move,
That
Cotton.
is a bold move.
We're going to see if it pays off.
That is a bold move. Library here.
Interesting.
Sam taking a lot of time, not challenging the Smee and then using a library line here. Interesting.
Needed cards.
I understand. I was just, if you would have challenged the Smee last turn, I think the library line here makes a little bit more sense because he's not questing as aggressively. Sam now going for the slowest possible line the deck can produce, but gaining a lot of card advantage while she's at it.
I probably lose.
Another crab maybe for the followers to hit a goat. Oofa doofa.
I can't do anything. Max over there thinking how bad a player I am.
That was a weird sequence.
I needed cards. I had nothing I could
I
do.
did not agree with not having the Chernobog's follower kill that Smee. Moving it is fine. You still draw a card, but like you threw that away and then you threw a goat away to kill the Smee. A little
sus.
I'm testing. It didn't work.
What exactly were you testing?
See if it would work.
What would work?
I don't know. He saw all of his strengths. I saw none.
I saw two.
It's almost all of them.
I don't know how many cards or what are in this deck. I randomly grabbed it from a pile.
He really did.
I don't know how you organize things here.
If our good friend Mystery teammate was watching, his head exploded during that one.
If he's not asleep, he's dead now.
What are we doing, Sam? Have we played this deck before?
I will say it was fun harassing him about not taking his own line that he would take.
He would.
That was
every
exactly
time.
what I put back. It was. Wow. Okay. That was interesting.
Cards in, cards out.
3 back. I got all 3 the same.
I'd like to point out that I only found one drop all last game.
Yep.
As you can see, there are 1-drops in the deck. I have some of them in my hand now.
You did it.
I don't think we need all of them. Do we need all of them?
I take as many as well, you're on the draw, so things get a little squiffy. Where you don't necessarily want to lead on the more aggressively slanted stuff.
We're going to throw 2 cards away. Because that's what feels right. And that's what we got back. They're different than the cards we threw away.
Better than me. I got all 3 back the same.
So Sam's on the play for this one. See what she ends up leading off on. Obviously, the goal here would be the 1-drop on 1 here. Just question of what's the best 1-drop to play in this position. I think probably it's Diablo in this matchup because it's just you care the least about what happens to it and it's the least effort. It's just turn sideways, turn sideways, turn sideways. Who cares? I liked leading off on Diablo and Blurple for that reason because it's just the card I could care the least about. I got whatever. Eventually it'll turn into a card. If not, it'll just keep gaining me allure every turn.
I think early game, Broom is probably the least valuable one.
Right.
I like Broom late game, though.
Broom's the easiest to turn into a card without it having to quest. You can literally cycle Broom for 1 if you have another character to follow up, which is really nice. Certainly makes it the strongest late game play. Got some options here. He could do something like hit the Diablo, pick up the Chernobog's followers with a snake. A little bit slower, but does a nice job of leveraging the fact he's on the draw, not needing the card off the Chernobog's followers.
It's actually the line I was thinking.
Draw card?
Puts you with the best static character on the board. It answers a Smee on the next turn. I think it does a lot. Right. Sam can't yet sing something like a Strength of a Raging Fire, so she's not going to be able to play a character and play Strength to take out the snake, so that's really a nice spot there. So likely going to lead to her blowing up the followers to convert into cards.
I'm going to play a Smee instead.
Oh, Smee instead. Putting his Chernobog follower at risk.
We're testing something out.
Testing something out. Becoming synonymous with just taking a clearly less good line.
Okay, actually, it worked out exactly how I wanted it to work out.
Poorly?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it legitimately worked out exactly how I wanted it to work out.
Okay. Let's see what Cliff has cooking back there. Had a Strength for the Fox, clean board for a Smee quest.
Go. I'm not saying it was the right play, but it's what I wanted.
It's what you predicted, either way. White Rose comes down, gain a lore. library and the inkwell. Chernobog's followers as the followers up. Smee continuing to quest. Is it going to be Snake now? No. Just move damage Smee over to read a book about healing his own wounds.
Yes. He's trying to learn.
He is. He's trying as hard as he's too bumbling, perhaps, to actually learn, but he's in the library trying to figure out how to heal himself.
He's learning how to become captain.
That's right. How to become captain.
Cards in hand.
How to have a shift card that is playable.
Mm.
Poor Smee.
Not gonna lie, I feel like I've made many mistakes this game. Game 1.
Yeah. It's a close game, considering.
How many mistakes he's made?
I'm not saying there were mistakes or not, but
Draw a card.
perhaps subversions from more practiced lines.
He's trying his best.
Smee is always trying his best, but he's got crab issues. And that sounds way worse than it actually is intended to be. Because the card is illustrated with crabs clawing Smee up. I did not mean anything worse than that. This is a Disney game after all, you perverts.
Four on the library.
Goats doing what goats do, eating things.
Eating all the books.
Gain a war. Take out your library.
Library has been aggressively taken out by a slew of animals. A whole menagerie.
Go ahead.
This is Sam illustrating multiple different wizards in her hand. I guess the same wizard in different forms. White Rose coming down. Fox picking up Snake, as we saw on the other side of the board last turn. Pretty close game in terms of all metrics right now.
Sam has way more cards than me.
Does she have more cards in hand than you?
Yes. She has 3 more cards in hand than me.
Okay. And you have one. You're up 1 lore.
And 1 character. And 1 ink.
And one. Okay, so yeah, fairly close.
So she's plus 1 card.
Sam trying to break parity by just playing 2 characters here. Instantly gaining a lure from the goat. No quest with the snake. Cliff quest with Rose. Play snake. Pick up Rose. Could replay Rose here. Does in fact do that. Pushes up to 10 lore. Sam's going to come up with something here to break parity.
No.
Strength of a raging goat on the white rose.
Thematic.
Back to hand with the goat. This match can be in the mirrors very much a match of being able to protect your cards that come in and gain a lure. Similar to how the Ruby Amethyst decks protect rabbits, and that tends to be the deck that wins is the one that gets to rabbit more. This deck can definitely be a who gets to go up
Walker.
for free more. Those free out of nowhere bursts of lure are really what define the archetype. At least the version that we're playing is very much on the aggressive slant. Well, I say the version we're play testing at the moment, because anything can change. There's a version so far.
No.
It's looking good. Cobra with no discard.
Go.
One thing you can do in the mirror, similar to your brawl question from earlier, is you could play a strength with no characters to deal 0 to the Cobra. That is legitimate. So I'm trying to hold out a lure advantage here, which is good. I mean, I think she wants maximum units on board here. Definitely gets a goat trigger, broom trigger in the bag. She's choosing whether she wants to use it or not. That is totally a legitimate thing that you absolutely can do in this game.
No, I'm not passing. Just not.
Oh.
Not brooming.
No broom. Plays a dock to refill. That's a pretty good turn. Definitely one of the game breaker turns. Quest with Fox.
Yeah.
Ing's a Fox. Plays a dock.
Draw card.
Fox in trade. Cliff up another card from the library there. Pete comes down. Calhoun. Cobra takes out a broom.
Go.
Odd sentences.
One card.
Let's see.
Sam can get up to 18 here. With a goat bounce, she wins. Going up to 18 here. Pete. Smee.
Sure.
Diablo. Slams them down. Cliff goes up to 13. During the set phase of his turn, draws a card.
We're gonna ink that because it's not gonna do anything.
Inks a Diablo.
Oh, forgot about her. I did not calculate her.
Who's her?
Calhoun.
Calhoun's actually quest for 2.
Yeah.
Quests.
Yeah, punches for 2. It takes a little bit of extra units,
So
though.
just a Cobra wins it then.
Which I don't have yet.
Sam, luckily, both her units having 3 toughness creates a bit of a problem for the Calhoun outside of the little Diablo that's hidden underneath of that pile.
Draw.
Cliff electing to trade. We got a couple tiny ones here that can be mopped up fairly trivially.
I can't draw any more cards.
Move to the library? Oh, because they don't die.
Yeah, none of your stuff kills my stuff on the swing back. 'Cause I
All
can-
of her characters are too small. Cliff makes it to 19 and slams a Diablo.
Yeah.
Very tight one. Sam finally managing to squeak out a win.
Max, if Olivia's still watching, I don't know if my couch is safe.
Uh-oh.
Why? Oh, because she would say no.
If anybody out there can donate a couch for the night in listener land, I'd appreciate it, because I'm not going to be allowed on in my bed.
I didn't say you couldn't go on our couch.
Oh, good, I have a couch. Never mind. What, dog?
I will be on the play.
What are you doing? The dog has been enjoying the streams down here. She's been laying under the table for most of them.
Because Ellie's the best.
She's the best at getting in the way. If you need leg room, she will certainly take that from you.
She's actually been very conveniently just like rolled up to the side.
Okay, that's nice. Now she's kind of looking around, puzzling over the different cords and wires.
You're first.
All right, this is game 3
Yep.
of this particular set. Purple Steel Mirror match.
Alright, so again, I don't think I want to keep this in my opening hand. Seems like something I'd rather draw towards the end. I don't know how many are in the deck, but you know what? That's a
If
problem.
it's Cobra, there's 4. There's actually 4 of everything in that deck.
All the whole deck
It's
is 4 ofs?
4 ofs.
Okay. Well then, there's 4 of these in the deck. So,
Yeah. Yeah, there are. Sometimes you feel them.
I will mulligan 4 away, and I'm going to keep these 3.
Oh, what are you doing?
And I got back some of the ones I threw away, but in general better.
Alright, and then I am going to put back these 5. Keep these 2.
Dog has forced her way past Cliff. What are you doing?
She's just being the best.
You gonna lay there? Okay. You gonna lay there?
Probably not exactly what I wanted to see. A decent amount we had put back.
Yep, she's going back on the
Alrighty.
table.
I'm going to ink a crab and play a Chernobog's Followers. From what I've been told, the best opening you can have with this deck.
The best.
Go ahead. Around.
No, we said a Diablo was the best.
Oh. Well, you know what? Don't listen to me. When it comes to Purple Steel.
Swahili says that she disagrees and that Morty is the best at getting in the way.
Morty is very good at getting in the way.
We're going to ink a library and play a Chernobog's Followers.
The best opening in the deck.
False.
Some would say.
Some would say. We're here to subvert from more practiced lines.
Quest for 1. We're going to leave that there.
Okay.
Whoa.
We're going to ink a snake.
Did I go second?
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
I didn't draw my card.
Calhoun, go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, Morty's favorite thing to do. Morty's, mine and Swahili's very large cat.
Yes.
He likes to lay in the middle of the kitchen floor or at the end of a hallway. And,
Also a black cat.
yeah, when he's stretched all the way out, he's probably about 3 feet long, front feet to back feet. So he
believe
does take up a lot of space.
Morty not small, that's for sure.
He's like 17 pounds, but when he lays down in your lap, he's like 80. And he lets you know.
There's sometimes he likes to think himself small. Trying to get in places.
We're going to draw a card. I'm going to ink this here broom. And I'm going to play these 2 guys. Go ahead.
Ink that library.
Sam inking her second library so far.
3 cards?
Yes. Ellie has resumed her natural position of on feet.
She loves to lay on people's feet. This is our dog, for those of you not familiar with Ellie.
It's not a person walking around named Ellie.
No, it's a dog walking around named Ellie.
We're going to pick up this Smee.
Sure.
And we're going to play a Chernobog's Followers.
Sure.
And we're going to pass.
Both players using their inks very efficiently. Cliff questing. Leaving Calhoun back to smack anything that dare challenge and survive. Broom into Smee here.
Go.
It's a lot of characters. Up 5 characters to 2. Fox here might be decent. Offering a possibility of getting rid of both characters, leaving just one exerted. And then Calhoun would have to trade. It's just scary leaving Cliff in a position with that many characters because of strength of a Raging Fire, but sometimes you just can't answer a board like this. That happens too, and then the question becomes what do you do? What is the best solution?
Draw a card.
Could just be Quest with Chernobog's Followers. Could be trade them for Smee. Okay. Could have another snake here. Or a fox still.
Peter.
Not allowing for a Strength of a Raging Fire on this board. If you have a removal card, you need to hold it and use your characters for that.
Ink goat. Go ahead.
Cliff increasing his lure advantage. Not willing to trade Calhoun for the snake.
Oh, that's a total mistake. Yeah, no, that's supposed to happen.
Okay. Goes up 2 more. I was going to say, that is certainly a subversion. Sam gets a clean shot at a broom here.
Oh, I was supposed to sack that, too.
We're learning what we should have done.
Yeah, I'm learning I shouldn't play purple steel.
Okay. Sam trying to shrink Cliff's board down here. Okay. This is still going to be a tough road for Sam to hoe. Cliff just has so many characters that can just come in and gain lore instantaneously. Ways to pick up the goat, put it back down, for example. We have White Rose. We have Cobra. Just more goats. 13-3 in the lore total, so Cliff way ahead there. Behind a little bit in hand. Library. Smee to library, take out a goat. Cliff goes up 14. Sam converts Smee into a card. Plays Chernobogs. Likely to see an Ink and move Chernobogs to the library. And that's in fact what happens. Chernobogs unfortunately cannot challenge the goat particularly well here. More instant lore gain in the way of White Rose to follow up. Doc to refill his hand. Goodness. It's going to be a tough road for Sam to hoe here.
Did you gain my 1 for that? I wasn't sure. I didn't
No,
look, so.
I was totally zoned out.
Keeping that. Moving Fox onto the library to trade for a goat. Cliff goes to 17. Now has up to 19 on board. Never a spot you want to see this deck go. So many ways to instantly win. Pete and Calhoun.
I can't do anything with Pete.
Yeah, that cannot answer Pete cleanly here, so a very nice way to effectively close out that one.
Peter is the most oppressive card towards the end of any game.
Yes, it's the card you definitely don't want to see out of steel in the later parts of the game. It's amazing how powerful a third drop can be towards the
You
end
had
of the game.
Daggro and I had all the expensive stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to call it there. For
Okay.
myself.
Cliff's going to exit the stream, but Sam and I will stay with you. We'll test some more here.
I'll take a quick break.
She sounds very excited to take a quick break. Do you know how to run an ad roll?
No.
I certainly don't.
So, you need to come over into Twitch. And then you need to go over to the manager here. It's kind of hidden. Yeah, you just click down here somewhere. There you go. Up, one click. No, scroll. Scroll. There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
Run an ad roll real quick.
Good? Cool.
It's just spinning. There we go.
Oh, hi everybody. I'm back with you. Can I flip this to me easily? Let's see. No, not easily. Go back to the black magic. All right, that looks better. Hi. Easier to do that. The webcam for some reason is. Oh, I know why. Because I have to switch to that pro cam thingy. I can do that probably. HD pro camera. Oh, hi. Hi. There I am. So I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump into this one. Hello, 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 hello. I'm gonna jump into this one, and Sam and I will continue testing the same as when she was playing Cliff. Just we won't have a third person on the mic calling the games or anything. It'll just be us chit-chatting with you. Appreciate y'all being here again. We are here every single Sunday doing something different. Illuminations, me and Sam, and Cliff, as you saw. And we have the rest of the Superliminal team in other evenings playing other games. You have J-Rod, you have Dan, you have Paul, you have Tim sometimes hiding in the background. So, lots to do. What are you looking for, your phone? Mm-hmm. It's right here. Lots of stuff, lots of nerding. If you're nerdy about it, we want to bring it your way here at Superliminal Entertainment. And again, that is Illumination Podcast to Sam and I, one of the many products that Superliminal Entertainment brings your way. I'm going to swap us to the overhead camera. There we go. I will play a deck. Are you going to stay on Purple Steel for a bit?
Sure.
I don't care what you do.
Well, that's rude.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want. Does that sound better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you can do whatever you want.
These sleeves are annoying me.
Why are they annoying you?
Because it's cold down here, so I want them down.
Right.
But they're big.
Oh, they're kind of like poofy and
Yeah.
not enough elastic in there.
Well, it's just because it's big. See if I can win some games against you.
You won an endgame against Cliff. I think that, but the good news, I think, for the losses is I think we all knew, yourself included, you were going to lose those games, and we knew exactly why.
Yeah.
So there was no, what you know what I mean? Like, walking away from testing, we'd rather have things we're knowledgeable about versus we would rather, I'm not worried about me, Max, I'm not worried about winning games, right? I'm worried about making sure I figured out what in the game was useful, what in the game was not useful, and what we can do to help mitigate those things. I want to identify key cards in the matchups. I want to identify the stumbling blocks that I hit. I want to identify the turns that were the big inflection points of the game that let me win or lose the game. So that's what I want to take away from any of these testing games, right? So Sam gets to go first, which is the usual.
So, I definitely want all the one drops I can get. This is... I don't know what I'm playing, so I think this is against. So, I think this is pretty good to keep. We've talked about earlier, we think this is the best 3-drop. I'm going to also keep this, just to be safe. And we're going to put back these 3.
Good. Oh, you got to get your 3.
Alright.
Thank you. All right, so here's our hand. I'm going to keep these 4 cards right here.
Oh, we got a raid.
Who raiding us? Hi, Raiders.
Pander IC Quests.
Pander IC Quests. Appreciate everybody coming in from the stream. Hello, good evening. Hope your stream went really well. Sam and I are testing.
We have to get the Nightbots to stop auto modding stuff.
We got to watch what the auto
Yeah.
mod turns on, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Oh, we got another one.
Oh, got another raid coming in.
No, it's just...
Oh, another message that got modded.
Yeah, it's just... It's saying it's spam, but...
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
of the caps.
Yeah, we have a
I'll have to
very,
look into
very
that.
strict Nightbot.
Apparently.
Yeah, it's
I'll
very
have to
strict.
look into it and see if I can get it to...
Yeah, we'll fix the Nightbot a little bit. But appreciate all the hype.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks so much. Hope you had a great stream as well. So we are testing some of the new cards from Archasia's Island. We're doing core constructed testing. and Sam and I have just hopped into the driver's seat. Sam and Cliff were testing a little bit ago, and yeah, if you're not familiar with the Illumination podcast, you can hear our podcast everywhere you hear fine podcasts, and appreciate all of you being here. So I'm going to keep these 4. I'm going to toss these 3. This is redundant, and these are fine, but I want to see them a little bit later, I do believe. I don't have the support to handle those cards effectively, so I'm going to take 3 different ones in my hand alteration and be very sad because they're significantly worse.
You said, love the play, testing. Belle is so good in blue steel.
Yeah, I got oofed. But yeah, Belle is nuts in blue steel, I fully agree. We haven't liked her so far in blue-red, but we like her a lot in blue steel. Okay.
All right, ready?
Sure.
We are going to Ink Broom, play Chernabog.
Good.
Yep.
Draw for turn. That's probably going to end up being the ink, just because our hand turned a little bit clunky. So I'm going to ink Tamatoa. I'm going to play a Fortisphere and draw 1 card. Okay, and I'll pass. Oh my.
Alright, we will quest. And we'll leave it there because he can't really punish us.
Anything new there?
What about the magical Christmas land situation of unconventional tool, Belle, 2-cost item turn 1? Cliff is talking about that.
Yes, I think that is awesome when it works. Oh,
No, I'm not done.
I think that's awesome when that unconventional tool line works, but I think a lot of times it's going to lead to clunky mid to late games because Bell and unconventional tool both don't look great in the mid game.
There's an ad. So odd.
Oh. You're back. So I think that opening line with the unconventional tool is awesome. I think that in the mid to late game, Bell and unconventional tool are both kind of middling. Like, unconventional tool works, right? The same way like Vitalisphere would work to like draw you cards from Hiram, for example. It lets you play a coil for free. I just don't know how powerful those lines are when we're really looking for clean answers
And
to
then
a problem.
End up with like basically no cards in your hand as well. So it's
You're done, right?
yes.
Right, that was a good draw. I think here I probably ink the Scrooge McDuck. I'm going to play Tipo. I'm going to do some secret inking, but it's not secret from you out there.
Not secret for me either because I saw it.
Yeah, it was a workshop. Not super good here. I think given the context of our draw, we're going to leave it at that and pass.
Now I'm going to blow up my Chernabog because you can take it out. We will ink a broom and play Pete.
No actions for me.
Quest for 1.
Yep.
Pass.
Good news is she's not putting us under the most pressure. Pete, a little bit annoying, to be sure. We're going to ink, though. We're going to play Flav. We're going to draw 2 cards. And I'll pass. I need more Fortispheres and Popsicles, please.
An ink strength. You will play White Rose. Gain 1.
White Rose coming in for 1.
Quest for 2.
Quest for 2 up to 6.
Pass.
All right. Fish, got my wish. Play a Popsicle. Draw a card. Quest to draw 2.
They said, change your sleeves as a reward redeem, like your card sleeves, stop the stream for a few minutes is interesting.
So we do typically stream, one of the things we stream on is Magic Arena, and you can very easily change your sleeves on Magic Arena. I agree, a little bit dubious to try to do that now. Play Bell. Get rid of Fortisphere.
That would be pretty interesting.
We'll ink Big Tamatoa. We'll strength down Calhoun. And I will pass the turn. We just don't want her to gain lore from the challenge. If she's going to spend the turn challenging Hiram, that's not the worst thing in the world for us. It's not amazing. Like, I'm not like, ooh, sign me up. But at least that's 2 less lore that's being gathered that turn. Calhoun's still gathering the lore while challenging, so that's...
It's me. We're gonna ink Diablo.
Diablo.
Play Pete.
Play Pete. Looks like Flaversham's going down like a sweet muffin.
Go ahead.
So we don't have the ability to play items or actions this turn, so we have to lean on characters and items. You have 1 card in hand. We'll play Workshop. We have to ink Smee here. I'm going to play Pete. Does Bell want to challenge one of these 2 units? I suppose she kind of has to. We'll just challenge the White Rose. With double Pete, I don't care if she's going to pick up... She still has a chance to pick up a Pete, so it's kind of silly to do it that way. So we'll just take out the White Rose. So if she's going to pick something up, at least she can't gain free lore off of it. Pete's going into the red zone, as is Smee, as is Pete.
Good.
Okay. I'm going to start by playing Shield of Ardendale, and I'm going to pay 1 for the Workshop to draw a card. We'll give the Pete resist. Take out Mr. Smee. Just take your die.
Arendelle is at an inside joke.
The shield? Arendelle? Arendelle, right? Did I say it wrong? Ooh.
Arendelle?
Arendelle? Did I say it wrong? It's this card, so you're using it kind of as another 1-drop item, because this deck is playing 4 Scrooge McDuck, and it's trying to make sure it has the items to use with Scrooge McDuck and extra ones for Bell. We were talking about, in testing, possibly making it the Magic Golden Flower for boards like this, but it actually worked better here to give the Pete resist, I think. Am I under Pete? I'm under Pete, right?
No.
No, I'm not under Pete. Okay.
No, they're both tapped.
Got it. So I'm going to pop the Workshop to play Bell. Strength your Mr. Smee. And I'll ink a Fishbone Quill and pass. A little defensive of a play, but I think that's what we have to be doing here.
White Rose.
And hope we can draw our way out of it here in the next turn or two. or Bell?
Oh, I forgot about Pete being there. We'll strength Bell, and then we'll take out Pete.
With a Pete?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go up 1 for questing with Pete. I just didn't even see her sitting there.
Good.
Oh, that's Arden Vale, the Winter Elder. Oh, MTG joke.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Go ahead. I'll put this near you so you can see.
Okay, that was a fine enough draw.
No, I don't want to hear that.
Tamatoa. It's not the greatest, but it's certainly not the worst. I think it's just going to be 2 of the smaller items here. Maybe it'll just be double Popsicle. The healing might be important, though I could see the bodyguard possibly working with Tipo next turn to hold off a lot of characters beating me down. How many cards do you have in hand?
0.
0 cards, okay. So I'll take 1 of each. We'll start with Popsicle and draw. So 7 ink. I could ink this turn. The inkables in my hand are a little bit thin. I'll ink a Fortisphere. I'll pass. Leaves me with 3 cards in hand. I need a couple Pirate's Life.
We'll quest for 2 and pass.
1 card in hand?
Yep.
What is that card? Could be Giant Cobra is going to be my guess. We'll put 2 damage on the White Rose and draw a card. We'll finish off the White Rose. Get Tipo, take out Pete. Play Ariel. So she's holding Fox. If she draws a cheap character that costs 2 or less, she can play the Fox. And even if I heal with Popsicle, that's not going to make a difference. So I'll just pass here. Crab. Right. It's an interesting draw. I guess we'll deploy it here. Scrooge McDuck. So I can look at 4. It's very similar to Scuttle. I can find an item, reveal it. For now we find the shield. Quest for 5. Tamatoa is going to sing Zeus here. Flaversham's going to come in and Popsicle. Draw 2. And we're going to play the shield back down and pass. And hope that's enough to turn the corner here.
6.
I'm at 6.
You got it.
Oh, but I didn't even show you my cool hand.
I have a library and a Fox in hand, so I can't do anything. Yeah.
That was where I drew off Hiram. 2 lucky dimes. We'll separate those a little bit.
I probably should have played that crab on board. That's what I was holding. I was holding it to be able to take out the Tamatoa.
Okay.
But then I would have had that on board because my following draw was a Fox.
Great.
And then I had nothing.
Yeah, I noticed it does the... I was just trying to preserve your battery power.
I don't care.
That's all.
I'll plug it in tonight.
So big thanks to everybody who came in from the raids. Really appreciate all of you being here. Appreciate everybody who's hanging out with us as well. You're great, too. What's under the microphone?
Just
What are the other ones?
I don't.
Okay. We can find out after the stream. There's something under there. Looks like 2 real Arcana cards. Just casually under the microphone.
I think they're just proxies.
They're not. I can see the back of them. So Sam gets to go first again.
This hand looks better than the last hand did, I think. We're gonna put back just these two. Got one card the same.
All right. So definitely we'll keep these 3. I think we keep this as well. So maybe we don't here. Maybe this is like enough of a start that we can figure it out from here. Like this card's good, but I don't know as though our hand's explosive enough to take full advantage of it. And since we're on kind of like the quote ideal, we'll just toss back these. I could see keeping the shield maybe because we could sack it. Okay. Yeah, these cards are way better than what I put back.
Oh no. You ready?
Yep.
Crab. Turnabog. Pass.
All right. No, we just coming up hit after hit. Ink Pete. Play Popsicle. Draw a card. And we'll sacrifice the Popsicle to play Bell. And we'll pass.
Quest.
Put her to the test right away. Yeah, the less on board, the better, because this opening Bell plays a lot like opening Cindy does. Good?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good way to play around with the Storm Raids on. Just have the Calhoun. Ink a Tipo. I will play a Tipo. We'll secret ink a card here and pass.
Link a Turnabog. White Rose.
Uh-huh.
Pass.
Play a Popsicle. We'll ink Tamatoa. And we'll just play out another Bell and pass. The more turns we get of staring at each other, the better it benefits us. It's less she's questing, less actions that are being taken, less I have to worry about controlling the board.
Play Goat.
So, I'm not sad about it. Not sad about it.
Request White Rose. Pass.
Not a bad card for us to trade in with a Bell if we need to. We'll start off with Hiram. Blow up our Popsicle. Draw 2. I'll trade here. Fishbone Quill. Shield. And pass. Goat. Quest.
Go ahead. Go on, Hank.
Do you want ink?
No.
Okay. Answer is no. Quest. Draw 2. Tamatoa. Tamatoa. We'll get back. Popsicle. There would be some thought about getting back the shield if I could play it this turn. But since I can't, I don't think that is the best idea ever. I'll trade you. And pass. So once again, if she wants to hit us with Calhoun and the goat, it's just kind of tying up 2 units right now. Okay. It is not. So she goes up to 9.
Go ahead.
You have how many cards?
1.
Okay. Play a popsicle. Play a bell.
3 bells.
3 bell. Popsicle. One card in hand. I'll take out your goat. Strength Calhoun. I'm going to do that in reverse order. I'm going to take out Calhoun with Tamatoa and strength the goat. So that's 1 less damage counter on Tamatoa that way. So then I can popsicle Tamatoa so the crab itself doesn't just take it out. And that's it.
Cheater?
I'm just working through the lines. I mean, you can trade in both units still for the Tamatoa if you really want to. Crab takes it, and then Diablo gets pumped, and then crashes into Tamatoa.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's good. It might be. It
Oh, I never said it was good. I just said it's an option. Good?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see what we can do here.
Probably a lot because you have a million cards in your hand.
Ink this me. We'll do 2 and draw. Do 2 and draw.
Those are always stuck together. Or do you already have 2 in your hand?
I've had those 2 for a little while. I've been sitting on them. Scrooge McDuck. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. 1 option. Just a Fortis Sphere. Put Big Tamatoa back here. I'll quest for 1 with T-Bone
Take
pass.
a dock off the top. It's not a dock.
Calhoun.
God, I think I have to keep questing.
Good.
Yeah.
That is the podcast tagline. Not the greatest card to have drawn here. Fortisphere. Play a workshop. Ink a Hiram. Play a Hiram. Blow up Fortisphere. Draw 2. Trade ya. You go up to 14. Can't really do much. Like I could quest with, or Scrooge just came out. I can't quest with. That is in fact not legal. I'll just pass. I don't want to quest with Tipo. Library, Calhoun. Good.
Yeah.
We'll have Scrooge hit the library. We'll have Flab sing Zeus on the library. Play Tamatoa. Get back. Just like 2 popsicles probably. Could be Fortisphere again for bodyguard purposes. We'll just get back the Royal Sampler here. Question is, I guess I can play one. Start with Fortisphere. Draw a card from the Fortisphere. We got the other workshop in the bag here. We can use it. Now that we drew a card we're comfortable inking. I don't think we need. I guess we will bodyguard and make Scrooge have to get hit first and pass the turn.
Cards?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I didn't want to quest with Tipo. Well, I guess you're right, because the bodyguard on Scrooge should have been quest with Tipo. So you're right. You're right. I was going to say I didn't want Tipo to die, but I guess, yeah, no, I don't think there's a way she could have done it even with a fox, right? So good call. If I lose by a lure, it's on me. Good. I don't think I'm going to lose by a lure, but it's possible. It's 16. It's like kind of just playing with fire now, right? Draw. That was one of them good draws.
Lucky diamond.
Yeah. It is annoying.
So one thing about this deck is there's just no answers.
Right, you're playing
It's like-
4 strengths. Activate time for 5. Popsicle to draw a card. Draw a card. Ink something. We'll ink a redundant Hiram and pass.
You just win next turn?
Yeah, because I Diamond Ariel's 10. Diamond Ariel's
Okay.
such a crazy closer. Got there. In all fairness, the Tipo didn't change the clock. Not a reason to excuse bad play. Blue Steel's a nasty customer.
Was that the whole match?
That was the whole
So you
match.
could be done.
I'm done with Blue Steel. Are you telling me I'm just done for the night? You're done. You're done on the stream tonight.
Late enough for that, but I don't have another opponent.
Oh, thanks. I'd kick you out if I had the chance, but I don't. Yeah, blue deck's cool. I like this. So we were playing the Tink Swords version. I think that that version there that you just saw is the more consistent version, and it also is one of the rare cases where I think it's also like the cooler version.
So you go to a deck that's gonna make me more mad.
Well, I mean, the only other deck we haven't played on stream is this one, so I'll get to that next. I figure I'll play the one that takes a little longer to do in case it takes the, you know what I mean, like a good chunk of the stream time
Play
up.
that one?
You want to play this one? Aren't you trying to get reps in with that one?
I don't know about that.
You don't know about
It
that?
didn't perform very well today.
Did not matter. It was still not an excuse for poor play, because you're right. You absolutely should have quested there. See if I can win a die roll. That's the question. Yeah. Oh, nope. Answer's nope.
Alright, wow, this is really a bad hand. I think I'm just gonna keep one. Oh, I'm not in this frame. Keep one. There's arguments to keep this. I just don't like keeping an uninkable in my opening hand unless I'm like doing a couple of cards, or I just don't want to end up getting a bunch back. So we're just gonna keep one, put back 6. See. This is the reason we put back the uninkable. But yeah, this is very bad, so we shall see.
So this is our hand. I'm going to keep these 2 cards. I'm going to put back these 5 cards. So typically in the Grin Steel deck, we're looking to try to high roll, especially in the blind, right? We just want to try to get the high roll Diablo shift line off as quickly as possible. And typically, when it comes to actions in our hand, I will keep an action that Diablo can sing versus one that it cannot. So I will keep, and especially an inkable, like I want to keep strength, I want to keep sudden chill. I won't keep too many. I will keep usually 1, so then that way, worst case, I have an inkable and I don't screw up my ink lines and things like that, and I can make my make everything still function as close to properly as possible. Good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll ink the Muses, who I fear is just probably one of the, if not the worst card in this deck right now. One of my favorite cards in the game. Doc Calhoun Library. Oof, that hand is bad. Pass.
I already stated that.
I know you did. I was agreeing with you. Buzz your girlfriend. Woof.
I think we're inking the library and we're playing counting.
What of your broom?
I should have quested.
Uh-huh.
No, I can quest, but I'm not gonna blow it up.
You're not scared of me shifting and singing or something along those lines? Or just
I'm
blopping
just not
it?
gonna quest. Go.
Okay. Okay. Think. Our ink for this one's going to be, we don't talk about Bruno. We're going to discard we don't talk about Bruno so that we can shift Diablo. We'll play Ursula. We get her strength. And we get to strength her Bruno.
Are you kidding me?
I am not. And I will pass the turn to you. I'm just trying to thin your hand out for Doc. She inks, plays that, gains 1. Quests with Calhoun. Good. Draw. I mean, this deck, when it runs hot, it looks so good, but it's the can it come back question. You know what I mean? Like, can it come back from a bad hand and still look good? Pass. I'll draw with you. Inks the Giant Cobra, plays Doc number 1, discards Doc number 2, draws 1, draw 2. Plays Diablo. Okay. play Prince John. We'll sing Sudden Chill.
I wasn't letting you get in 2 cards.
No, you were not. Ink Pete. And I guess we just chill for now. The one thing about this deck that's tough is you're just a lot of times chilling and it doesn't feel the best. So I'll pass to you and draw your draw. It's just so trivial for her to strength. Thinking about Diablo, pivoted, possibly thinking about Ursula. Both are scary. Diablo definitely more the immediately scary one. Quest with her own Diablo. Good. You have no cards? Go ahead. Diablo. Yep, you're up to 9, 10, 11. We have to find an answer for Calhoun if we can. Smee probably just ends up trading in with her, I think. Yeah. Trade. Bruno the White Rose. Draw a card from John. We'll do Doc twice. Draw a card. Draw a card. Put this on the bottom. Ink a Pete. Quest with John for 2 and pass.
Pass.
No questy?
No. I'm not going to let you do that again.
Okay. Make a Pete. We'll make a Diablo. I'll just pass. Yep. Big Cobra, big. Alright. Draw. Shift a Pete. We'll take out Mr. Smee. West for 1. We'll make a Mr. Smee, Ink of the Muses, and pass. I'll draw with you from Diablo. Good? Okay. Looking for what? It's going to be tricky. We can't play actions this turn. So it's just like another setup-y kind of turn. We'll take out Diablo. We'll take out your Cobra. Beast, Mega Smee, Quest, and pass. Draw from Diablo.
How many cards in hand?
2. Yep. Yep. beast. Draw for the turn. Oof. Just keep drawing characters that aren't super duper relevant. That's rough. Go to 19 and you get like 2 looks. Just because I can't find actions. It's brutal. I mean, I did see a lot of actions early when I couldn't really take advantage of them. So that's tough. What do we do here? I don't think it's anything super fancy. I think we just have to trade here. Quest for 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go to 14. I will play those 2 and pass. Just try to stop her from winning the game as much as I can.
I don't think I do. I don't think it's possible.
I was wondering if it was just like mono and inkables. Yeah. Close one. Despite how much of a hold I had on the like early
Even if I
part.
won that game, I would have hated that game.
Right.
It was just miserable to play.
This deck creates those scenarios where it just is you're trying to play the most busted hand possible. Like I just
You had like the perfect start.
it was
The only
basically
thing
a
you were
cove
missing
short.
was cove.
Yeah.
And it didn't even matter because I had strength, not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Right, you're not a brawl deck, so it doesn't matter as much.
I'll go first.
Mm-hmm.
Again.
Definitely a toughie. Big thanks to everybody hanging out with us again. Illumination Podcast your way every other Wednesday, bringing you Lorcana content.
Okay, this is better hand than the last time. We're going to put these 2 back 'cause I don't really think they do much in this match. But we'll keep these. So, 2.
Alright, we got our 7 cards here. Let's see what they are. Okay, so we got one of the things we need. Again, when I have that, I'll usually keep one action, a particular one that could be sung. So, we'll get rid of these. I mean, I'll keep an action with it. It just depends on what the action is. If it's uninkable, it's a little dicey. I feel like trying to high roll that high is a little insane. So let's see what we got for our 5 here. Okay. So, came together, gelled together for a pretty good looking 7. So, should be a reasonable game for us. Obviously, draws notwithstanding in the mid game.
Alright. We will ink broom and play Chernobog.
You got it. Draw for the turn. I think we're inking the Muses. I feel like that card might have to come out. I'll pass to you.
Ink a broom.
Mm-hmm.
Pass me.
You got him.
Go ahead.
I think this time, do we want to do that? Probably not. Maybe it's this. Could be this. Seems wrong. We'll ink Hypnotize. Discard. Let the Storm Rage on. Play out Diablo. Play Ursula. Though theoretically we should have done that in the other order. but we didn't have any. Our hand had no other, like, there wasn't any plays behind it in that regard. Like, you could argue we could have kept Let the Storm Rage on maybe and then used it to shoot. That just seems thin. Pass. Draw.
I'm just debating if I play Pete or White Rose. Actually, don't know if I ink this.
I can see the argument for inking the Diablo because you have a clean 3-4.
It's just nice that it draws a card. Don't care about your Pete right now. You could play John and then make me discard. So, I guess I'll Pete.
Pete.
Go ahead.
Draw. Go ahead. I'll draw with you.
This feels bad to discard my stuff when you are going to make me discard my stuff.
Good.
So maybe Pete should have been that turn. I don't know.
Shoot Pete, shoot goat.
Might be worse.
Trade you.
Oh. So mean.
So mean. Pete, you back. Inca Pete. Question
Pete,
one.
is that your only play? Because that looks really bad. What am I strengthening?
Huh?
Is that your only 3-drop?
Yeah.
Okay. I was just like...
Well, that
I
and an
couldn't do
action that I don't
anything.
want to play, so I'm going to draw with Diablo. No, you just hope for the high upside. If I get the shift Pete, it doesn't look too terrible. 9. Doc. Ooh, a big risk here. Big risk, big risk, big risk, big risk. Big risk, big risk. Hypnotize. Draw. Oh, that was gross. Strength.
You can be done.
Okay. Yeah, that was gross. But I mean, like, when the deck looks good, it looks good. Like, there's just no arguing. Like, the assemblage of cards I had were absurd. And the one thing that sucks, and arguably, Ursula might be the worst card for you in the deck, even more so than Diablo at times. Because she just is so oppressive if you can start double singing those damage songs. She just clears a board so fast. I'll play that if you want. Uh-oh, somebody's here. Dog's on alert. What would you like to play?
I guess that.
There is also green-yellow. Apologies for the dog barking if that's coming through on your speakers there. She's very spirited because somebody else is home. There you go. I'll try this one out. Yeah, the other deck we have is green-yellow. And I haven't been loving that deck. I think it's a little too all-in, more so than the purple-steel deck is. Purple-steel has some interaction. It's got some play with crabs and foxes and things like that. I think it definitely has some ability to... make some moves. I think the green-yellow deck just is like a little too...
Oh my dog, oh my dog, oh my dog. Yeah, we really gotta get that chatbot looked at. So, this is not great. Like, none of it. So, I'm gonna put back 7.
It'd be like that sometimes. I was keeping 2, but I think both games I kept 2. I had one side of Diablo plus an action.
So, little bit better.
All right. So, a couple of options here. I think we're going to keep this. I don't think we're interested in much else from the hand. I will keep this as a precautionary measure, and I will put back 5.
Oh my goodness, I keep dropping everything.
Yeah, I think that is a much more acceptable clump of cards here. Gives us some options through the game, which I think is pretty important.
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
Ink Diablo, play Diablo.
Ink Diablo, play Diablo. Good. Hopefully that's not too washed out for everybody. It looks okay. I think we're the least interested in Snake right now. Play Diablo and pass. Just Diablo at each other.
Think of Pete. Play a Hidden Cove. Go ahead.
Ink Followers. We'll play Calhoun. And we'll quest for 1 and pass. A little dangerous if she gets the shift line, because she could shift, take out the Diablo to we draw a card, and then, well, she won't draw a card, so that's not too bad, actually. No worries. No worries at all.
Ink Pete. Play Ursula.
Mm-hmm.
Pass.
Yeah, that card's scary in this match for sure. It's a tricky ink for sure. Make it Diablo, I guess. Play out the White Rose. Quest. 3 on the Cove. Go ahead. Gives me the best chance if she's got like character and then double strength. And then I have at least Diablo still out. I can maybe crab into the Cove.
Sudden Chill.
Oh, okay. It's sudden, going for Sudden Chill. Double discard. Card Cobra and Smee. Probably just end up inking Library and playing Dock, depending on what we draw. Take out the Cove. We'll ink Strength here, much to my chagrin. Play the Library. Move our little buddy over and quest for 1. And pass. Then that way if she hits the dock, we have the Library out. Not normally a play that's conducive. Like, they don't work well together, Library and Dock. But I think in this case, with discard, we're maximizing the amount of chances we end up with a hand of options now. Yep.
That was not correct.
Alright, let's see. Game 1. Draw a card. think we have to ink this, play the dock. We want to end our turn with as few cards in hand as possible, I think. A, because we want more things on the board. It's pretty good, I think we'll do that one. And because we want to mitigate the chances of us having to discard. So we'll play Pete here. So the only thing that could make us discard would be potentially a Lucifer. Can't move.
Playing Lucifer?
It's not. But it's potential.
Hyper Hippo resubscribed.
Hyper Hippo, thank you for the sub. Glad you made it home safe, the long trek. 1, 2, 3. Puts us up to 10 and I'll pass. Pete. I know you know.
One card in hand.
Just one. Yep, got a shifty.
Two in the library.
2 on the library. Calhoun.
Why didn't you quest with that Diablo?
I don't know. Could I have?
Maybe not. Maybe you played it.
Don't remember.
Played Pete.
I think
and Doc. So
I
no.
put Pete and Doc. Okay. No good answer for you there. One, 2, 3, 4. Go ahead.
No cards in hand.
0 cards. But plenty of chances to put cards in my hand. And you're free to play actions again.
Storm.
Yep. I'll draw 2. Don't forget to put the storm on the bottom. The weirdest part of that card, but I get it. Because of the way it's worded, it has to put it on the bottom. We have strength out of here. Probably the white rose, because you don't want me to pick that up the most.
Hypnotize. I can't do anything.
I'm under Pete, right?
Doesn't matter either. I can't take out 2 libraries.
Go ahead. That the draw off John wasn't good.
It doesn't matter. I can't take out 2 libraries.
Yeah, you can deal 6 to the one that's damaged, which would be Xaxes on it. You're having a time today. Have it today. Use up all the bad luck today in testing and preserve all the good luck. Put it in the good luck stores for Saturday.
My opening hand. I'm going to keep these 3. And no, I'm not going to keep this because I know what I'm playing against. I don't think it's very good in the match. So put back these 5.
I'm going to keep these 2. I'm going to put back these 5. This is an arguable keep, but like I feel like if we have too much redundancy going on there, we're going to start inking things we don't want to ink. So I'm going to put these back and see if we can get a little bit more fluidity to our hand. Mostly acceptable. Like definitely helped in the lacking of 1-drop department. So that was good there. I think we have a good curve and options. So it's kind of what we're looking for, I think, across the board. So this is a fine hand, I says. Big thanks to everybody hanging out with us tonight. Appreciate y'all being here. Hope you're enjoying the stream. If you're not getting ad rolled currently. Appreciate everybody being here. We're having a good time here, streaming a demon. Seems like the sound's working better, so maybe it was just port 1 that was giving us trouble.
Maybe. Ready?
Yeah, good.
Pass.
I'm going to ink a snake, and I'm going to play a Chernobog's Followers.
Late.
Broom, Smee, Calhoun, White Rose, Fox.
Link muses.
Uh-huh.
And pass.
I guess we could have blown up the Followers. That is good play just to draw first, not draw last. I don't think that would have changed our ink, but it would have given us more pause, I think, to think about that one. I'll pass. Trying to just make sure I don't immediately lose my unit to let the Storm Rage on. It's like playing Smee there. If she lets the Storm Rage on, Smee's basically gets 1 quest. So Calhoun shrugs it off, keeps going.
Strength.
Okay.
Smee.
Good.
Yep.
Draw. Broom. Play White Rose. I'll pass. A little hesitant there to pass without using Calhoun if she plays a unit and then strengths. She just inked the strength, so it's like how many strengths is she sandbagging in her hand? Could be that the second copy's not as good as, the first copy's not going to be as good as the second copy. Looks like going to be a sudden chilled here, maybe? Nope, there was indeed the strength, so lost 1 lure there we could have had. Good.
It's only coming through the right ear on the headphones.
Ah, okay, got it. So it's for sure the cord. Because I swapped.
We just need a new cord.
I could very well be the answer. It's that, or if we get a new cord and it's still an issue, then it's the port coming out of the Roadcaster. In which case, we would need probably a USB to USB-C adapter so that we could just plug into a USB port. Okay, so what do we do here? Couple options. Obviously, can quest and play this Fox, trade into the Smee. I don't think we're super duper worried about that. Like, it'd be more of like a defensive play the Fox kind of thing. Do I want to ink here?
How many cards are in your hand?
3. I'll chill. There's 4.
Oh, that's 4.
4 with the Fox, yeah. I don't mind missing an ink here or there along the way with this deck. It's not like the red purple decks where I never wanted to miss an ink. I think there's another song coming. Not a big deal. Part of the reason I didn't want to ink the Fox is in case something like that. Because I don't blame her for cycling the card there. Because sometimes you just need to draw a card to get more flexibility. That card, Let Stormbridge On, is not terribly profitable against this deck. Like, it usually trades down into a 1-drop for the most part. So trading 2 into something as valuable as a Smee doesn't feel awful. Smee's got 2 damage. We'll play a crab. We'll go ahead and trade you. I draw, so you draw. Quest. We'll ink the library here and pass. Still got 4 in hand. Not the worst place to be. It's really coming up to her big turns, though. She's going to start to get into the 5s and 6s where we can start to see some pretty scary characters come down. She can start to make combo plays. Yeah, she's going to start filling her hand even more proactively than she has been. Good. So definitely need to find Strength of a Raging Fire ASAP. Quest for 2. I think the Fox here, what she's going to do us a whole lot of good right now. Play Smee, play Pete, and pass.
Turn. Draw for Beast.
So she's up on cards, currently a parity with Lure, but she's way up on cards. We're at parity on ink. She's going to go ahead. She's going to pull ahead this turn on ink. So she's ahead by a lot of the like most metrics. She's ahead right now. So that means we're in a pretty bad spot.
Smee.
Pair of Smee. Helps her close the game faster.
Quest for 1.
Quest for 1.
We'll pass.
Draw. Ink a Fox. Play Chernobog. Play Doc. I draw 2, you draw 2. You draw 2. Play Calhoun. Quest for 5 up to 11. Go ahead.
Turn. Draw for Beast.
So now what we're trying to do is just run the board as hard as we can to run her out of run out characters in a more oppressive way than she can play cards to try to wrangle the characters back in. That's really our one play here, is to just try to run out as much as we can on board and have as big of a turn here as possible. Obviously, like, if the Calhoun and followers were a Pete, we'd be in a really good spot as a goat. So that's a kind of a big cost using the Diablo, just because that's one less character that can challenge. Not that she'd be challenging with the Diablo, it's just coming into these couple turns, this is where she has to decide, is another turn of cards worth the cost of trading into a character. So does have Beast to sing Bruno if needed. Does have Beast just to hit something if needed. Going after Smee here with the Storm makes sense. And that was just hard paid for straight up, which is largely correct. Here she's looking to play like maybe a reasonably statted character. Could be a Pete in case I rip a strength. She's not just like...
The ink for that.
For Pete?
Oh, that Pete.
3-drop Pete, not 6-drop Pete. 3-drop Pete also lets you 6-drop Pete on the following turn and quest for one more, so that could help with race math. Like right now, she can still quest for 8 and put herself at 15, and then that puts me in the position of win or she wins, which I don't have 9 on the board. 3, 4, 5, 6. So play. Are you paying for that, or are you questing? You sung it. Interesting. That's going after the followers?
Yeah.
Okay. Big cost. We're losing 2 chunks of lore. Draw a card.
No cards in hand.
I wonder if there was a way I can just, in the thing, repeat the right channel in both ears. Because I don't really care about coming through in stereo, per se.
Go ahead.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Trade you for a Smee. Pump up the Pete. Draw a card. You draw a card. Trade you for the Beast. Draw a card. You draw a card.
You pay to move. You paid.
Yeah. Go ahead.
You have a card in hand.
1. I guess I could have inked it.
You want to?
Yeah, I'll ink it. It's a goat. Wait, did I ink for turn? Hang on.
You might have. I don't know.
No.
I don't think you did.
No. I'll just put Doc on the library with the ink. That's the best and most efficient way to have navigated the turn. Given the little bit of option we have. So it's not banished, it's just simply discarded.
2.
So no conversion from the library there. Good?
Yeah. Should have thought my play out and played that first, but
You would have been 1 card deeper.
Yep.
13. Draw a card. Go on mono fine strength of a raging fire, which isn't a great prospect to be in, so I'm going to draw 2 cards.
strength doesn't even do it because it's a 6.
That is true. You draw 2. One damage. Huh?
It's just so oppressive.
It is. I was looking at options on the actual switcher itself to see if there was a way to. But I think the property would have to be both, like, put bright channel in both ears. Yeah, but probably not super easily with the last few minutes of the stream coming to a wind down here. This will be the last game for the stream this evening. Big thanks to everybody hanging out with us. Really appreciate you being here. We'll keep bringing you more of these in-person paper stream kind of deals for Lorcana. We like playing, so we might as well play on the stream. Have all you hang out, chit-chat about it. Makes it a ton of fun. Appreciate you all being here. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can get it anywhere you get podcasts from, Illumination Podcast, or you just search Illumination Lorcana. If you type !podcast in the chat, you'll find a link to it now. Otherwise, it's every other Wednesday, and you can find us on Facebook as well. So I'm first this time. Sucker. We're pretty clean, like 1, 2, 3 here, I think is probably just the right line to follow. I'd like to maybe mulligan just for a cleaner turn 4. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll mulligan these 4. Crab not super great in this matchup other than to like take out a Hidden Cove. So could definitely see an argument for keeping one of those cards. A little bit bad. I think this gives us more options going into the mid game. It's very similar to what we put back, but I think a touch more flexible and fluid. Go ahead. That's the wrong one. You're number 3.
Oh, Fred, I have to do it still. I was like, no, it's not. This hand's not the greatest, but we do have one piece of what we're looking for. Not a fan of keeping this on the play. I mean, in my opening hand. So I'm gonna put back 6. Let's see. And not too great. Keep going out of the camera.
So you're saying there's a chance. So the most challenging aspect of our hand, I think, is just figuring out what to ink. I think it's going to be this. I don't think that's too difficult a choice. So we ink Fox, play followers.
Cove. Pass.
Draw a card. I think we're probably going to end up inking that card as well. It's just the lowest impact 2-drop. That'd be Madam Mim's Snake. I'll quest for 1 here since she has nothing and keep that on board. And I'll play out Mr. Smee and pass.
Cards in hand.
4 cards in hand.
Pass.
No 1, no 2. We're getting all the time we need. So we'll apply maximum pressure, I think, given that that was the line. We'll ink the crab. Quest for 3. I'm just going to play the cards I have out. Go ahead. Yep. Ooh, that's not the 3-drop you wanted. Quest for 6 up to 10. Play White Rose up to 11. Ink the library and pass. If she has the discard, it's fine. Just the odds of her being able to double discard here are pretty high. So I want to make sure that I mitigate as much as possible being done here. And I just want units on the board to turn sideways. Because where I tax her, sure, if her plan is to use Prince John and leverage discard, I've given her as few cards as possible to discard. And Prince John's so bad at challenging units on board that the better thing for me to do is just to throw down as much as I possibly can. Is John coming into this me? He is. Good. Go ahead. So once again, forcing her to not be able to be proactive and trying to tie up her ink with being as reactive as possible. Out of lethal range. If she's pinching our card draw, which I think is correct. She could have took out the Cobra, but I think taking out the followers is better. I have no hand to show you. We got the purple steel out. And Sam did play many cards that were green or steel, that one. But that's the green steel deck. Sometimes you get that. I'm glad you got to showcase the game where you absolutely wrecked me and the game where you got wrecked, just because that is such a good illustration of this green steel deck. I just feel like its volatility is its biggest weakness right now. I don't know if there's a way to make it better. I feel like the best way, obviously, is to try to curtail as much as you can to what's good in the meta right now. I feel like Muses might need to come out. I don't know if there's a deck that I want to play the Muses against.
Hyper aggro would be the best one.
Right,
And
that's...
we don't know if we'll see it or not.
And I think the deck has enough going for it that I can probably handle the hyper aggro matches with the green steel deck anyway. So I feel like Muses probably needs to become something a little bit more potent. Likely a 2-drop or a 1-drop? Because I feel like those are the 2 drops that have the biggest susceptibility right now. There's nothing else in color, I think, that deals with Hiram. Could be, 2 copies of Go-Go Tamago. She doesn't sing as well, but that's fine. I don't know. It'll require some thought. I think there are 2 flex slots there that could be used for something else, though. There could be, a copy of Lucifer, and I could put something else in. Lucifer obviously doing pretty good in the... But Lucifer without the Muses looks a little worse, because that's where the real strength is, being able to pick up Lucifer and put it back down. And just have them kind of shred their hand with Lucifer over and over again. But it's maybe that's just not good enough. I didn't feel like this deck struggled too hard. Struggled into the blue steel deck a bit, because I haven't grokked the way to play against that Scrooge McDuck version yet. But maybe it's something there. Maybe there's something I can be doing. It's really just trying to figure out what to do against Flaversham in the blue decks. If they can Flaversham, if they can quest with Flaversham twice, typically that's enough that your discard won't be able to really hold them back for the most part. So that'll do it for the stream tonight. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Hope you all have a great week. Hope you all get to enjoy the new set coming out on Friday. Hope you all open lots and lots of stuff that you're looking for, whether it be enchanteds, whether it be legendaries, whatever, what have you, and what not. That will do it for the stream tonight. And are we raiding somebody? Is that the goal? Okay. So Sam's been working over there diligently. I didn't realize it was for a raid. Okay. We are going to raid somebody. Who are we raiding?
Dark Side Brian.
Dark Side Brian with a raid coming your way. Everybody have a great week. We'll see ya. Boy.